everybody on planet Earth has a fear brain, but the more trauma you've experienced, the more fear is triggered, the more your fear brain will try to just solve this problem and protect you. If you're curious what your fear brain is, I made a whole video on that, so you can look that up. But now I want to just focus on the out of control fear brain. So fear is just a part of being human. I know it sucks, but it's true. and but sometimes your fear brain kind of can get out of control. So when there's a lot of fear inside you, a lot of fear is being triggered, and you don't know how to handle that, you don't know how to deal with that, you don't know how to heal that, it kind of progresses and progresses, and it can kind of feel out of control. And I remember so vividly that when I started, when my relationship with Arya, my now husband, started, the fear was there. Like, I had doubts, and I was doubting whether he was the one, and was trying to see whether we were compatible. And those were fears, but those were kind of like manageable fears. I felt like I was working towards a solution. I was doing a useful thing. And then I started noticing that whenever I kind of like set a finish line, like when I feel more love in the morning, for instance, then I will know for sure that this is fine. I just need to feel more. And then I would feel more, and then something else would be wrong, and I would have to figure that out and obsess about that. And it became more and more obsessive. And that finish line kind of got pushed back more and more and more. And that was just so frustrating. And that's the point where I started feeling out of control. I felt like I don't have any grip on this anymore. Um, and so that is a sign of an out of control fear brain, where you just feel like you're so unsafe, and you just don't know how to get to safety. So the thoughts that I want to talk to you about are thoughts that an out of control fear brain usually has. And the first one is the feeling and the thoughts that you will never get out of this. You will never be able to heal. It's too late. You've gone too far. You are too broken. Those are thoughts of an out of control fear brain, which, when you have these thoughts and when your fear brain is out of control, it does not mean that you cannot get out of it. Absolutely not. I've had all of these thoughts, and I definitely had an out of control fear brain, and I'm here, and fear is pretty much non-existent. So the fact that you have these thoughts really does not mean that that's true. But these are just signs of an out of control fear brain. And what that means is that you just need a different strategy. You just need help to calm your fear brain down, understand how it works, calm it down, and work with it instead of against it, and give it what it needs. So the first thought is that you will never get out of this, and you are too broken, and it's too late. You are not the only one that thinks that, and you will not be the only one that still heals the whole attachment style and gets out of this, even though you've thought this a million times. The second one is suicidal thoughts. And obviously suicide is like a big topic, and so a trigger warning. We are going to talk about suicidal thoughts. But suicidal thoughts, in a way, and this might sound really weird me saying this, but when I had suicidal thoughts, and I've had them for I think 3 years, looking back on them, I see why I had them. I was just in so much pain and in so much distress that suicide is like almost a way out. It's almost like a fantasy. When I'm gone, then I won't have these thoughts anymore, and I won't struggle as much anymore. And I didn't truly want to die, and I can't speak for other people, but I think there are definitely more people that have that. They just don't want these thoughts anymore, and they just don't want to feel so horribly anymore. So this, for me, looking back, really also was a sign of an out of control fear brain. I just couldn't see a solution anymore. I just couldn't imagine not feeling fear and not feeling so crazy. That was like a way out. So it's in a way it's a logical thing, but it is not the solution. It is not the solution. I truly believe, and it helped me in that time, that when you, no, I don't want to say this. I'm not going to say this. Sorry, I'm not going to say this because I'm thinking of people that might watch this that have lost someone. I'm not going to say this. I'm sorry. So I'm just going to leave it at that. The third question, or the third thought that your fear brain, out of control fear brain might have, is that the fear that you will hurt yourself in some way, that you just can't trust yourself at all, and you will hurt yourself. You will, in a flash of, so without actually wanting to die, but you will just do something that will hurt you. And I'm thinking, I do have concrete examples, but again, I don't want to say too much. So I'm just going to leave this at that too. This is a hard topic, guys. And if you are struggling with this, please know that there are solutions even if you can't see them. And there is help even if you feel so alone. But if you do have these thoughts, please seek professional help. Please seek professional help. There is always like a hotline you can call. Pretty much every country has them. If you're struggling with any of these thoughts, I just want to mention that now. I'm going to go to the fourth, and I do want to address this. It is a hard topic to talk about, but I do want to address these because I wish somebody would just talk about these thoughts as being just thoughts. You know, they scared me so much when I had them, but they are just thoughts. They are not the truth. They are not the truth of what your life will look like. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. This is just where you are right now, and you can heal, and this can be a distant memory. So the fourth thought is the fear of going crazy. I truly had that fear, especially when I started noticing that I didn't have any control over my thoughts anymore. I really thought I was going crazy, and that felt like an end station to me. Like then I have to be taken into a psychiatric institution, and that's where I will be for the rest of my life. And what really helped me was understanding the fear brain, and that helped me with this specific thought, knowing that I wouldn't go crazy, because all of these thoughts, even though they're horrible and they're they're horrible thoughts, they are also logical in a way when you understand your fear brain. I hope you understand what I mean. I'm not trying to diminish the power and the horribleness of the thoughts, but understanding where they come from and understanding yourself and understanding your fear brain will help so much in not feeling so powerless with these thoughts. All right, the last one is the fear of being a pedophile, and this is a subtype of OCD also, the fear of being a pedophile, POCD. But that was one of the thoughts that I hated so much, and the feelings also, because there were also feelings involved, and I just was so scared that I was a pedophile, and whenever I saw a child, I just kind of like ignored them, didn't want to look at them in case I would feel something. And oh my gosh, if I think back to that, being so scared of your thoughts and being so scared of your feelings is such a minefield in your life. Like there's no safety for you. And this is also just like, this is a fear brain that is just out of control and is just seeing threats everywhere. So what these thoughts have in common is that you are powerless and you don't have a choice. So there's nothing you can do. It's too late. You can't get out of this. You will go crazy. You will hurt yourself. You have no power over yourself, over your thoughts, over your feelings. And that is not true. Even though it feels true in this moment, it is not true. You are not a slave to your thoughts and to your feelings. You have so much more power than you think. And you are so much stronger than you think. But sometimes it is that power and it is that strength that we are actually afraid of. And so we feel so powerless. So saying that you don't have to take your thoughts seriously sounds so easy and so like almost laughable when you're talking about these thoughts, but in the core, at the core, it's really important to know this, especially with these really horrible thoughts, that thoughts are not true. Thoughts are not true. They are not the truth. If they were true, everything I thought then would have come true, and none of it has. None of it has. I was afraid of everything, that Aryan wasn't the one, that I would break up, that my feelings for him would only get less and less and less, and they would be gone, and I would go crazy, and none of that has come true. I now have a head where automatically happy thoughts reside and are in. And when I wake up relaxed 9 out of 10 times, and I immediately have grateful thoughts without even trying. I love my husband, and I love him more and more the longer we are together. It just deepens and becomes richer and richer. My body feels relaxed. I feel relaxed. I know who I am. I know how my body works. I know how my brain works. That just gives me so much power. I'm not afraid of any of my thoughts and any of my feelings anymore. There is no thought, there's no feeling that could scare me. I so wish that for you, because I know how horrible it feels to be in this and to feel so powerless. And I so wish that I could just give you what I feel right now. But I hope that this video helps you to know that you are not the only one, and that there is a solution and there is a way out in the sense of healing, and that you will feel so much better than you can even imagine right now, so much better than you've probably ever felt in your life, because the fear brain and the fear system were started at such a young age. There is so much goodness that awaits you in your life. There is so much love that you haven't experienced yet, but that you will. And I so want you to experience that. So please, 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 if you recognize any of these thoughts, stay with us. Stay with us. Just keep going. And I promise you that there is healing for you. You are never too broken. It is never too late. You will experience more love. You will experience more happiness. It is there for you. For you. I'm so happy you're here.